after, shame on them, right? This is after these workers here voted yes on April 1st to defeat this $1 trillion company by over 5%, over 500 ballots. We all watched it live on Zoom. These workers here, some of the organizers here, spent several months, dedicated their time, sacrificed their time away from their family, their children, their loved ones, to do this campaign for this company, the company that they work for, to turn around and object to their election results. So we're here in Phoenix, Arizona, all the way from New York, all the way from Staten Island, representing the workers in JFK right now, letting them know that this decision today, or whenever this decision is made about this court hearing, affects everybody in the labor movement, not just ALU, everybody in the labor movement. So we once again, we are proud to be here with our brothers and sisters, against workers. We're going to stop this union busting against workers. We're going to stop everything that's been going on, because we are the future, the younger generation, the working class that's right now, and we are the ones that make the money. So we got to understand our value, our worth, and understand that these companies do not run unless we go to work. So we have to withhold our labor. We need to do so. Withhold our labor until they do what we need them to do. If we're essential, they need to treat us such. All right? Let's get it. 1, 2,
a little bit louder.
3,
We're out here fighting
for a contract. 1,
We are the union.
2,
A little bit louder.
3,
We're out here fighting
for a contract. 1,
We are the union.
2,
A little bit louder.
3,
We're out here fighting
for a contract. 1,
We are the union.
2,
A little bit louder.
3,
We're out here fighting for a contract.
1,
We are the union.
2,
A little bit louder.
3,
We're out here fighting
for a contract.
We are the union. 2, a little bit louder. 3, we're out here fighting for a contract. 1, we are the union. 2, a little bit louder. 3, we're out here fighting for a contract. 1, we are the union. 2, a little bit louder. 3, we're out here fighting for a contract.
I love it.
I have a quick question.
Let's do it.
I know that you won your election. It seems to me that the hardest part is what the part that comes now. And I know that's going to be a difficult road to hoe, that you need the support of the labor movement. But can you tell us anything about your plans going forward to actually begin to function as a union within that time right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So right now, after this hearing, hopefully goes our favor, certified officially by the government, that will provide more protections for these workers in the warehouse, number 1. Now we can use, what unions use, wine garden rights. We can have representation in the building. That's one thing that we can do in the meantime. 2, we're building our super team. You know, we have lawyers that are joining our legal counsel. We're getting advice from general counsels that's been in this for a long time. We're building our infrastructure within the union. We're getting our office space. We're getting the members involved. We're building up our shop students. We're building up members to get on as organizers. Also, we're going to have our demands, our concrete demands out in the public, so workers know exactly what we're fighting for inside JFK. The most important thing is keeping the members engaged throughout the process of the contract fight, because we know this can go anywhere for a year and a half, even longer. And we don't want that. We don't want it to be a long, dragged out process. We won the election. Amazon needs to come to the table right away. Absolutely, it's a war. You know, they fired our members as of just last week. They fired another one. You know, Uncle Pat that's been with us. He flipped over 500 workers in the building, and Amazon seen that in the press conference that we held outside the building. They targeted him ever since then, and they terminated him just last week. So there's going to be casualties on both sides. We know that, but we all know that even though Pat lost his job, he's still going to fight twice as hard, and even now, because they did do him wrong, and we already filed our ULPs representing him and made sure that he's going to try to get his job back with the retro pay. That goes for any worker that has to deal with retaliatory actions when it comes to this company. The union is supposed to take care of them, and that's what we've been doing. We already have several members. Everybody here has UOPs against Amazon. I can tell you that right now. We already have a member that's already getting his job back, Joe Bryson. He also fought for a 10J. Daquan Smith, another one. There's several members that already are in that process, and we're going to continue to do so while we're getting a contract. We're going to fight for any worker that needs help and operate just as we are an established union already. Absolutely. Any other questions? We can do questions because once again, I don't want to keep us in the sun too long.
What do you feel like is the correlation between COVID and the rise of like labor movements? Apple, Starbucks, Trader Joe's. What do you think is getting the unrest going?
Yeah. Well, I walked out in the beginning of COVID for that reason. It was a life or death situation. We all know, we all felt it, we all been affected by it. Somebody we know been affected by it. We all worked throughout the pandemic because we were deemed essential workers, right? They compared us the closest thing to the Red Cross. Our job description said have a high school diploma, GED, or lift 50 pounds. It did not say to work in the middle of a deadly pandemic. So you know what the hell we did? We walked out. And I think everybody else paid attention to that. And they realized their value is a lot more. And now, fast forward now, 2 years later, everybody's always been preaching economy. We make the economy. So we're not going to go back to what we've been getting. It makes no sense. That's insanity, right? To go back to what we've been getting for decades and decades and decades. Right now, we have a window of opportunity to change everything, change the whole system. We have to take advantage of that. We got to come together, all industries, no matter whether you work for Amazon, Starbucks, Whole Foods, FedEx, Target, Walmart, Dollar General, Durant's across the street. It doesn't matter. Unionize your workplace. Don't quit your job. Any other questions?
You mentioned a subpoena. Can you explain what that was about?
So yeah, I mean, I can't give too many details on it, but I do know that everybody here has been subpoenaed, whether to testify or provide some type of documents towards the case. And because of that reason, we're not allowed to witness what's happening right now. Because what's happening right now could be evidence for what we may say, and they don't want us to, I guess, get a one-up on that. And yeah, we just can't be a part of it. I don't understand it either. None of us do. We just know that, we're following the rules. We're going to do what it takes to make sure that, we follow the rules on both sides, and hopefully it goes in our favor. Yeah. Oh, you got more?
I just show about Amazon's plans in Inland Empire. They're building like some of the biggest warehouses in the world. They're building houses with built-in Alexas. Like, what's the plan there? Do you think this is like a telling sign of what they're planning around the country?
Amazon is going to build until they take over the world. You know that cartoon, Pinky the Brain? Like, that's what we're dealing with this company. I can't explain why they build and they hire and fire. But we do know this. That's their plan, to be this global. They say it all the time. They want to be the number one best, the number one company in the world. Don't take that lightly. That's what they're really trying to do. I mean, this is a book company that started in a garage, remember? Yep. Now they own 95% of the market. And they say that they're not a monopoly. We all know that's just not true. Jeff Bezos, these billionaires, the 1% class, they've been exploiting our labor for a very long time, and we got to stop. It's enough is enough, and I think, the younger generation and the revolution that we're in right now is going to be the one to do it. So I'm happy to be a part of it. I know you are too, man. Appreciate you. You got another question? Anybody? I heard somebody say.
Go ahead.
Appreciate it. How do you, what's your pitch to consumers who aren't union members and not necessarily plugged in with the movement? How do you convince them to show solidarity, cancel their Prime subscriptions? What would you say? Yeah, I mentioned this yesterday, that's a small thing, canceling Prime is a start, but, it goes a lot longer than that. I think just having the conversations
spreading awareness about it, because a lot of people just are disconnected of what we go through in the warehouse. They have no idea. As much as we are in tune, it's a small world when it comes to labor. You know, everybody knows what's going on, the same folks. How do we get that out? How do we get this message out to people that are just disconnected? And it's not really their fault either. You know, society plays a part of that. How do we get that to them? We got to tell them. You got to tell them. I know my family, some of my family members still shop on Amazon Prime, and they know what the hell I'm doing. And I'll be like, yo, what are you doing? But it starts at your house. It starts with your neighbors. It starts with your co-workers. It starts with us, like, continuing to push it out there. As a consumer, canceling your Prime is one thing until the company do better, but also do more than that. Write a letter, join a demonstration, you know, donate to campaigns that are organizing, help them out. You know, that's what it takes. It takes a community effort. We're all being affected by it. A lot of people are upset with what Amazon does, but they don't want to say or talk about it. We got to push them there. We have to get them to that point, you know, and that's what we're doing here.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say, you know, in Arizona, you can tell it's hot, and you know, these Amazon
hot late summer.
Yeah, these Amazon workers work out here, you know, a good 200 days in 100-degree heat, and if any Amazon worker needs any help, it's for sure Arizona.
Yeah, I filed a complaint with OSHA.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's no oversight as far as like hazards and how it impacts their health. There's no study. So what are you guys looking at as far as expanding in Arizona and looking at the possible hazards across the country, like in Arizona?
No, it's everywhere. You know, the warehouses, they're already hot as it is. The machines, the conveyor belts, some of these buildings have 16 miles of conveyor belts. 16 miles of conveyor belts that run 24/7. You know how much heat that generates? They have like 4 floors in some of these buildings. The heat rises in the building. You're on the top floor, you're burning up by the end of the day. So it's everywhere in the country, and especially I can imagine what's going on in these warehouses. I forget about it. I probably wouldn't last. But we are filing the complaints at Ocean only goes but so far. We already know that. You know, this is another government underfunded, you know, nobody cares about type of deal. And they had certain times with Amazon too. They was at some convention this year with them, some of the top executives of OSHA. You know, so it's like we're the ones that have to organize from the bottom up, you know, and I recommend, you know, number one, I'm gonna put it out there now, if we get involved with the Arizona workers, which we are, we gotta walk out of these buildings. We shouldn't be working in over 100+ degrees. That's ridiculous. So we gotta get the workers to that point where they're militant enough to say, you know what, we're not going to work until they get some proper AC in this building. If they're, you know, if they're weather controlled, because that's what they say they are. Amazon has enough money to make sure that these buildings are sufficient enough. Right?
Yeah.
I'm about to say, if we're going to walk out, what's up, man?
We're at war right now, man. We have to.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're going to get involved. That's why we came here today. We want to make sure that we are connected with the community. So please stay connected with us after this event. I know there's workers that showed up yesterday. We got connected with some. We're going to continue to be up here and show the solidarity, even from New York. We're going to try to come back if we have the capacity and help physically be on the ground with the workers that are organizing, so that we are showing that we support them. We want the workers to organize and get to a point where they can organize themselves. But we will support them, and hopefully that they'll be successful in unionizing as well. We're not stopping. This is just the beginning. And if we don't get it,
shut it down.
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
one more time, we don't get it.
Shut it down.
Let me hear you, we don't get it.
Shut it down.
Damn right. Any other questions? Anybody else want some words?
Just one more thing. I know that Amazon has a particular playbook of open warehouses where there's a lot of unemployment. They do the same thing in France, I know for a fact, and they try to do that anywhere in the world. So you're an inspiration because you're bucking, you know, $1 trillion company. But just a few words for workers around the world, maybe, who may be facing, maybe not even from Amazon, but facing these kinds of underhanded and truly, you know, predatory kind of practices from the big corporations.
It's really simple, you know, the same thing I mentioned a few minutes ago. Whether you're here in the States or in other countries, when we have people, workers that reached out, since we won, even beforehand, I've been in touch with many of the unions overseas, from Germany, Italy, France, and beyond. You know, what we have to do is show that international solidarity. We have to show that what happens here in America definitely happens in overseas as well. We want a strike where we can all say, one day they're striking over there, we're striking over here at the same time, until we all get better, because that's what it takes. It takes that international solidarity. And there's unions already overseas for Amazon, and they're watching us. And guess what? We have some of their contracts. So don't say that Amazon can't be unionized. It's already been done. So they have to bring it to America. It has to come to America now. And it's already here. We won. We won our election on April 1st. Give us a contract. Come to the table. This court hearing today is bullshit. 25 objections from $1 trillion company. Are you kidding me? These workers here won. They voted yes. They won. Come to the table. Enough is enough. And if they don't come to the table, that's what we're going to do. We're going to show up every day. We're going to show up here. We're going to show up virtually. We're going to show up at the NLRB. We're going to show up in front of their warehouses. We're going to show up at Andy Jossy's doorstep because he keep running his mouth too. We're going to show up at Jeff Bezos' mansions and penthouse. I'm going to Aspen, Colorado, so somebody send me the Addy. You know, we're going to show up. We're not going to stop. So until they understand that this is a revolution, we're going to make it. We're going to make it happen. Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what community